2, 1. What's up, everyone? This is Stefan, and welcome to today's live stream. I apologize for starting a little bit late today. Technical difficulties always seem to be a frequent thing that happens whenever you do things like this. But nonetheless, we made sure that everything is running smoothly. Hopefully you guys can see me and hear me okay. Now we are streaming this to 5 different locations at once. So there's a lot of streams that are happening right now. First and foremost, I'm streaming this on YouTube as well as on Facebook, on the Stefan James Facebook page and the Project Life Mastery YouTube channel. That's where the most high quality stream is going to be happening right now. I'm also streaming this on Instagram, the Stefan James Instagram. I'm also streaming this on the Project Life Mastery Instagram. And I'm also streaming this on Periscope, okay? So for those that are on Instagram and Periscope, understand that you might not see everything that I have here. And again, I would recommend heading over to Project Life Mastery on YouTube, and you're gonna be able to see everything and have the best quality stream. Now, for those of you that are joining in live, I'd love to hear where you guys are joining in from. Make sure you leave a comment in the chat box. And let me know your name as well as your location, okay, name and location. And what you guys can't see here is I actually have my laptop here, so I'm actually able to see all the comments and all the chat on YouTube. All right, let's see who we got here. All right, let's see who we got here on Facebook. So we've got Ham in the house, we've got Martin, good to see you, Martin. We've got Romania, we've got Sanjana, Ham from Switzerland. We got Andres here, we got Jamie, good to see you, Jamie. We got Sarah here, good to see you. We got Martin McFly, we've got Courtney, we've got Tom from Indianapolis. We've got Casey from Texas. We got Carla here, good to see you. We got Eli, my friend Eli, good to see you, buddy. And let's see who we got here on YouTube. Wow, we got Norman from Amsterdam. We've got Asja from Slovenia. We got Rodolfo from San Antonio. Wow, we got people from all over the place. Hungary, Serbia, Canada, Lucas from Canada. We got Dev from Dubai. We got George from Romania. We got Justin from Lithuania. We got Eden from Serbia, Mustafa from Philadelphia. Good to see you, my friend. We got Saskia from Germany. We got Joe from Durham, England. We got Cecil from North California. Awesome, guys. I wish I could give everyone here a shout out. Alexius from Thailand. Tiff from Virginia Beach. We got Doug from Rhode Island. We've got a lot of people joining in. Thank you guys so much for joining today. I'm honored, as always, to speak to you, to serve you. And I'm really excited for today because in today's live stream, I'm going to share with you guys and introduce you to what I call my Life Mastery Management System, LMMS for short. And this is a system that has allowed me to manage multiple areas of my life. I'm going to introduce that to you guys in this live stream. And I'm also going to share with you guys a little bit of my Life Mastery blueprint that I put together here as well. And I'm really excited because I'm also going to announce later on in this stream a brand new training program that I've just put together, been working on with my team behind the scenes, and I'm going to make a special announcement for that a little bit later on in the stream. And then I also want to make sure that I can answer some of your guys' questions. So if you guys stick around to the end, I'll make sure to answer your questions and engage with you guys a little bit more throughout this as well. Okay, someone here says on Instagram and on Periscope the camera's flipped. Yes, because right now you're viewing this in selfie mode. When you're in selfie mode, it flips the camera. That's why, again, I recommend heading over to YouTube, find Project Life Mastery on YouTube, or find Stefan James on Facebook, and that's where you're gonna get the best quality stream on the professional camera. Okay, all right, guys, so I'm super excited about this. I created, I'm a big fan of Life Mastery. And I think that in order to achieve life mastery, you got to make sure that you're consistently growing, improving, making progress in every aspect of your life. You know, a lot of people I see time and time again, they just focus on one aspect of life. They just focus on making a lot of money and, crushing it with their business and really mastering that. But at the same time, a lot of people, what happens is they do so at a huge cost and expense to areas of life that are even more important and more valuable. Areas of life like your health, your physical body, you know, the temple that gives you the gift of life every single day, your heart that beats 100,000 times a day without you even have to think about it or do anything. Your brain that's functioning at an optimal level, your lungs, your organs, your kidneys, your liver, your digestive system. There's so many amazing processes of our body that most people take for granted, and they don't focus on really mastering it, because what good is it having all the money in the world if you don't have your health? You know, you want to extend the quality of life that you can have on this planet. You want to make sure that you can get more out of the hours of the day. And it's not until you master your health, I think that's the foundation of life. You got to make sure that you master that. But yet people sacrifice it. It's totally insane. I think people have their priorities mixed up because they don't realize that by mastering your health, it will actually allow you to have more energy. It will allow you to have a better relationship. It will allow you to pursue more success in your life and have the energy to do so. It will allow you to feel better about yourself and be a lot happier. And so I think that's the foundation. A lot of people, they make all this money, they put all their focus into that, and yet they're also making a huge cost and expense by sacrificing their emotions, their mindset, their beliefs. You know, without that, nothing else is possible. And what good is it having all the money in the world if you're always stressed, if you always have anxiety, if you're always pissed off, if you're always frustrated? You want to make sure that you're living every single day of your life with joy and happiness. You want to be grateful for what you got. You want to appreciate the incredible gifts that you've been given currently right now in your life, not waiting till one day when you've got the relationship or the body or the wealth or the freedom or whatever that is. You don't want to wait to be happy. You want to be happy now, because when you focus on being happy now, today, and feeling great about your life, you're going to be even more successful. It's actually going to help you have more energy to achieve more success, more results in your life. Most people, you see what happens is they achieve to be happy. They think that if I'm more successful, if I achieve more, then I'm going to be happy. I view it the other way around. I think that happy people achieve more. By focusing on your happiness first, making sure you love your life, you love the process, I believe you're going to be even more successful when you're in that state of mind. You're definitely going to attract a different quality of person to you. You're going to attract more success, more opportunities, more partnerships and relationships or whatever it might be. At the same time, people pursue maybe having a great body, being physically fit, getting a six-pack, but they're also doing so at the expense of not mastering their finances, not mastering their business, not creating some sort of stream of income that can be automated, that can provide freedom for yourself, that can actually eliminate what consumes most people's time on a day-to-day basis, which is having a 9-to-5 job. You eliminate that from your life through making passive income and building a business. You eliminate the 9-to-5, you're going to have a lot more freedom, a lot more time on your hands to be able to focus even more so on areas of your life that are even more important, more valuable to you. Again, areas like your health, areas like your mindset, your beliefs, your learning, your growth, your spiritual life, your relationships, right? But a lot of people, they master one area, but they're not mastering them all. So I believe that in order to have an amazing life, you have to have life mastery. You have to master not just one or two areas, all of them. And to do that, the challenge a lot of people have is they don't have a system in place. They don't have a system for managing their life. And I've created a system here that I think can really benefit you. It's benefited me immensely. And it's something that I've evolved. It's something I've evolved from other teachers, other people I've learned from. But what I found was once I was following other people's systems, I kind of felt in some way that it was a little bit flawed. It didn't really align fully with what my vision of life mastery really is. And so I've modified it, I've evolved it, I've made it better, I feel. And I'll share with you that system. Now, I've broken down that there's 10 core areas of life. 10, really 12 personally that I focus on measuring. And these are universal areas. Most of you watching this right now could probably relate to all the different areas here. I'm going to walk you through the different areas. This is what I call the Life Mastery Blueprint. I'm going to explain this to you, but before I go through these 10 areas, I want to mention something important. There's no one-size-fits-all system to life, okay? There isn't. And I think a lot of people, they're looking for a model that will just they can just plug into their life. This is what works for me. This is the 10 to 12 areas of life that I focus on that are important to me, that I value in a certain hierarchy, and I make sure that I consistently measure them. I make sure I consistently set goals in these areas and make progress too. And for me, I want to master them all. Really what you got to do is you got to take a step back. I've broken down here, there's a macro level and there's a micro level to focus on. Macro level is the big picture. And really what you got to do first, I think you first got to define what is your vision for your life. What is an amazing life to you? What is an amazing life to you? Because if you don't know what that is, then how are you going to be able to create it? A lot of people that have no plan for their lives, they have no vision, and they have no purpose for even living, then why do anything? Why even wake up in the morning? Why go to the gym? Why go to work? Why make money? Why do any of that if you don't have a vision or something that you're pursuing in your life that's greater than what you currently have? I think we all need to have a vision. We all need to make sure that we've defined what is a quality life for us. What is an amazing life? What is a life that's going to make you happy, that you're going to enjoy, that you're going to love? And there's no limits. There's absolutely no limits to what you can create. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. It's a quote by Henry Ford. Whatever the mind can first conceive and believe, it can achieve. Anything is possible. You know, yesterday I just gave a speech at BCIT, which is one of the top universities in Vancouver, British Columbia Institute of Technology. And there's about 100 students there, and I was talking about business and marketing. And I think a lot of people, they don't understand their potential. You don't understand your true potential, what you're truly capable of in this lifetime if you fully commit yourself and you fully believe it. You can create whatever kind of lifestyle that you want for yourself, any level of success and any level of mastery in your life. Because time and time again, there's other human beings that have gone before us. They had the courage, the transparency, the belief and the faith to achieve incredible things. And because of their example, they've become inspirations and proven to the masses of what is truly possible. You know, when Roger Bannister, the first man to run a 4-minute mile, since the time of the ancient Greeks, man thought it was impossible to run a mile in 4 minutes. And no matter how much you trained and pushed your body and increased your stamina, endurance, no man was able to run a 4-minute mile. But here Roger Bannister came along and he decided to shift his mindset, his mentality, his belief system. Because pushing himself more physically wasn't the answer. Everyone else had tried that before him. And sure enough, he was the first man to run a mile in 4 minutes. You know what the amazing thing that happened after that? Is that once Roger Bannister ran a 4-minute mile, that same year, 30-something other people ran a mile in 4 minutes. Because one person, once they did it, they broke through the limiting belief, the limiting barriers that the masses had, and proved that it was possible. Then it shifted the belief system of all others, and then everyone else has been able to run a 4-minute mile. Today, high school kids can run a mile in 4 minutes. That's the power of belief. But you got to understand your potential first. You got to look for role models. You got to look for inspirations, people that can be references for you to show you what's possible. And it's been proven time and time again. So anything is possible for yourself. You just really got to believe that and own it. So identifying your vision, identifying what is an amazing life to you, understanding what that is. And then based on that, that's what's going to allow you to understand what are the core areas of life that fit within what an amazing life is to me. So for example, you might journal out and write out your ultimate vision for your life and daydream and visualize and think of this incredible life that you want to create one day. Well, you've got to break that down and ask yourself, what elements consist of that amazing life? For me, when I did this process, I realized health is a very important component of that, important component of my vision, of my amazing life. I want to make sure that I have the energy, the vitality. I want to make sure that I can live for a long time. I want to live to over 100 years old. You know, that's my goal. And make sure that I have tons of energy and I look young, I look fit, I look incredible at that age, right? That's my belief system. That's my aim. That's my target. That's my vision. You know, I want to make sure I have physical fitness. And I think one thing that a lot of people don't understand, I'll mention this real quick, fitness and health are two different things. Two different things. That's why, you know, before previously I used to follow a model from Tony Robbins. He shared there's 7 areas of life. But when I did that for years, but the challenge that I faced was like, I don't know if I agree with that, because he kind of, lumps health and fitness together in a way. And I thought to myself, it's not really fair for me to measure these together because they're two different things. Give you an example. One person could be healthy. They could follow a plant-based diet. They could be vegetarian. They could be doing all the healthy things possible, but that doesn't mean that they have fitness. That doesn't mean they have strength. That doesn't mean they have muscle. That doesn't mean they have an endurance or stamina. That's a totally separate thing. At the same time, do you know people that are fit, physically fit? They're muscular, they're in great shape, they have endurance, they have stamina, they can sprint, they can run, they can do all these incredible things physically, but yet they're not healthy. And I can point this out time and time again. A lot of professional athletes, on the outside, they look healthy because of their body, but a lot of people, they're not understanding that that's not health. A lot of these professional athletes, they sleep all day. Before the game, they take a nap and they drink 3 cups of coffee and they're good to go. And then after the game, they're recovering and resting and taking an ice bath, trying to recover from all the stress that they did on their body. That's not health, right? A lot of these, professional athletes, you could have someone that's totally fit, that has amazing endurance and strength, but after their game, they're drinking beers and eating pizza. That's not health. So I realized, I got to measure these as two separate areas of life. That's why I put these in 2 different colors. I got to measure myself on a regular basis and have goals for my life and a vision for my health. What energy do I want? What kind of vitality do I want? How much do I want to enjoy life physically? How do I want to feel in my body? And then think to myself, okay, great, what are my fitness goals now? And health always has to be more important than fitness, always. Okay, you have to prioritize that first, because without your health, you cease to exist. Without your health, you're not going to be able to even be alive physically and have this body that allows us to experience this gift of life through. So health always has to be first, but I think fitness is important too. You want to make sure that you have some strength and some endurance and some muscle. I think that's a great thing, and they also definitely relate to one another in a big way, because being more fit can help you be more healthy and vice versa, okay? Next, mindset and beliefs. That was an area of my life that I thought as well. Before I used to think there was just emotions, but I thought to myself, but your mindset, your mentality, your thoughts, your belief system, that's important as well. That's a separate area of life. And this influences your emotions. Your thoughts influence your feelings. And so I realized myself, I got to have goals to really improve my mindset, my belief systems, my mentality. I got to really make sure that I'm constantly improving that and growing it, and have that as a core area of my life. In the same way, emotions, very important area of life. I thought to myself, well, this vision that I have, this amazing life that I want to create for myself, what are the emotions I want to experience? Because at the end of the day, that's what really colors your experience of life. That's what your quality of life is about. That you could have everything, you could have mastered everything, you could have that fit body, you could have the money, you could have the success, you could have the relationship, but if you're not happy, if you're not appreciating your life, if you're not grateful every day, if you're not living every day with joy and you're not fulfilled, then you're not gonna have a really amazing life. You're not gonna live life to the max. So I thought to myself, emotions is an area of my life. I've got to have a vision of how I want to feel in my life. I got to have a vision and specific goals about how I can improve that. What are the emotional states I want to live in every single day? What are the emotional states that I want to eliminate from my life? I want to get rid of them, and I can reprogram myself and condition my emotional home, my emotional consistent state of being and living. I also thought, relationship is important, but before, I felt the other model was flawed with the 7 areas, because you kind of lump together relationship of an intimate relationship, as well as your friends, as well as your family, and all relationships, but they're all so different. They're all so different. So this, for me, is my intimate relationship. Maybe for you, it's different. Maybe for you, it's your dating life. Maybe for you, it's your marriage. Maybe for you, it's you have no desire to have a relationship. Although I personally think that having an intimate relationship and someone to share your life with is one of the greatest areas of life that really amplifies your life to a whole new level, because there's no amount of success or money or physical fitness or whatever it might be, and I've experienced the height of all those different areas in my life, the highest of high that you experience from that, from money, success, a car, a house, whatever it is, that pales in comparison to the amount of joy, happiness, fulfillment, love, passion, intimacy that you get to experience when you find someone who's your soulmate and someone who supports your mission, your purpose in life, and helps you to grow to become more. I think everybody, man, I couldn't imagine my life without my woman. You know, I think everybody deserves that. Everyone deserves to find that love and have that passion. It just amplifies everything else. So for me, that's my relationship. And I want you to understand, this is, again, I'm going off of based on what my vision is for my life. You might determine that your vision and your life consists of 7 areas, or 3 areas, or 4 areas, or 12, or 15, right? You can create your own blueprint for your life. Again, this is not one size fits all. This is what has benefited me, that I've broken down my ultimate life to and broken it down, and the ones that I consistently want to master and focus on in my life. Okay, so it might be different for you. That's okay. There's no right or wrong. It's up to you. What is important to you? I want you to ask yourself that question and do clarity on that. And this requires time. This requires deep thought. This requires reflection. This requires your creativity. No one can give you a life plan. No one can give you a vision. No one can give you your goals. That's up to you. That's up to you to sit down, put on some music, eliminate distractions, put yourself in a great state, and really get clear on the life that you want to create. No one else can do that for you. That's up to you. And frankly and honestly, there's nothing in life more important. This is your freaking life. This is your life, guys. Take the time to create a vision for your life. If you don't have a plan for your life, you're going to fall into someone else's plan. If you don't have a plan for your life, you don't have a vision, you're just going to get whatever shows up for you in your life. That's why a lot of people, they just have all this crap that keeps showing up in their life because they didn't proactively decide what it is they want and then focus on manifesting that in their life. If you're always, reacting in your life and you're not proactive, you're going to manifest more negative things in your life. You have to start to decide that you're going to design the life that you want. Only you can do that. Okay, so I encourage you, that's one action I'll encourage for you after this video, is to take the time to create that vision, create that plan, go through this model that I have here, identify the areas that are important to you, and then that will allow you to have more clarity on the life that you want to create. Now moving forward, your mission. Your mission is your purpose in life. Your mission is your work. It could be your job. It could be your business. It could be your school or your studies. I like the word mission because that's the ultimate goal for all of us, to have a mission, to have a purpose. When you have that and you fully associate to it, man, you become unstoppable in life because you're going to spend the majority of your life in your mission, in your purpose. And I think what a lot of people understand is that they might have a job or they're going to school and they say to my, Stefan, I don't have a mission, I don't have a purpose. Well, what I might say to you is, why can't what you're doing right now be aligned with your mission and purpose? What if going to school right now is a stepping stone allowing you to lead into your mission and purpose, and it's just an important step that you got to go through right now at this stage of your life to ultimately fulfill your mission in life? What if this job that you have that you despise, you instead look at it as a gift and actually a part of your mission? Because even though you might be building a business on the side or pursuing a side hustle or pursuing something else, well, this job is still part of that mission because that job provides for you, it pays your bills. The job provides some money that you can save and put aside that you can use to fund your mission and your purpose. Maybe the job that you have, you can use it as an opportunity to improve yourself. Maybe in your job right now or in your school, you could look at it in a way, hey, you know what? This is a great way to prepare myself for my mission because at my job or at my school, I could develop the habits of success. I can be more disciplined, more productive. I can think about how I can communicate better with other people that I'm working with. And all those things at my current job or school will translate over to my mission, my business, my purpose when I pursue that. People that have a job or school, they're like, oh, I don't care. This isn't my mission. This isn't my passion. They're just looking to get by instead of realizing that the habits that you're building there, that mindset mentality is not going to translate over to success in a business. You got to use your job right now. You got to use your work, whatever, even if you're not fulfilled by it, use it as an opportunity to grow and to be at your best, to show up at your absolute best. Train yourself to be able to be the kind of person that can do things that they don't want to do it, but they still do it with excellence because that's who they are. That's your identity. Your identity, your standard for yourself is to perform with absolute excellence in everything that you do. If you live with that standard every day, that's going to translate over to a business or a passion or whatever that might be. Okay, so understand that right now you're already living your mission, your purpose, or it's a stepping stone or helping you prepare for that. Okay, so that's an important area of life. Now, money is important, your finances, this could be passive income. I think we all need to have passive income. You have to have money that's working for you. You can't always be trading your time for money. Okay, that's a horrible trade. You got to make sure that money is working for you because time is limited. Time is more valuable than money. Most people are not valuing their time nearly as enough than what it really should be. So you got to create a passive income machine. You got to create a strategy for yourself to create financial freedom, your retirement, and ultimate wealth long term. Okay, a long-term strategy for that. It's an important area for my life. Money is a gift. Money is an incredible tool. I've got no negative connotations to money. Money is a tool. It's what you use it for, what you do with it. I decided to use money in my life to improve myself, to grow, to expand all the different areas of my life. It helps me fast track things and accelerate my growth. By having money, I can invest more into my health. I can buy the best technologies, the best water ionizers, the best PEMF mats, the best supplements, the best organic foods. I can hire the best, the chefs or cooks that I desire. I can eat that at the healthiest places. That money is a gift that allows me to accelerate my health. It allows me to improve my fitness. I can hire a personal trainer. I can hire different technologies that can serve me there as well. So you can be healthy and fit without that, but you can take it to a whole new level when you have money. Money allows you to enhance your mindset and beliefs because you can hire the best coaches and trainers, go to the seminars, the events, and the experiences that can allow you to grow and accelerate that even further. It allows you to amplify your emotions. It allows you to amplify your relationship because, I don't know about you, I know for myself and my family, money was always a cause of stress. My parents, we didn't have much money growing up. My parents went through a bankruptcy, unfortunately. We lost our house, the house that my dad built. We had to move into a small house that we had to rent, and it was very challenging for us, and money was constantly arguing. It really hurt my family's relationship, and it hurt, my mom and dad, their relationship suffered because of that. My relationship with my parents suffered because of that. A lot of relationships, it hurts them in a lot of different ways. So money can enhance that. It can also allow you to give more to your partner, to provide more magic moments, more experiences that can amplify the relationship. So money is a powerful tool. You want to make sure that you master that, and you got to make sure that that's an important one because a lot of people can make some poor decisions financially that can end up leading to a bankruptcy or leading to debt or a very challenging situation that can affect all other areas of life. So you can't neglect that. You can't neglect money. Just think, oh, you know what? I'm just going to focus on my business. I'm just going to focus on my job. The money will take care of itself. No, you got to make sure that's an area of focus for you to grow in and set goals in and measure on a regular basis. Family and friends. Family and friends, you got to have that in your life too. I separate those personally. That's why I got those ones in different colors too, because those are two different areas of life. There's times where maybe you're spending time with your family and it's going great. You've got a great relationship, great connection, you're having fun, but maybe you've been neglecting your friends. Maybe you don't have the people in your life to share your life with. You don't have people that are supporting you that are like-minded people on the same path, right? You don't have that empowering ecosystem, as I call it, and vice versa. You can maybe have a great time with your friends. You're going out with them, you're enjoying life, creating amazing moments, but maybe you haven't talked to your family for a while. Maybe you have some unresolved issues there. Maybe there's some pain or resentment or hurt that can get in the way and really affect you on a deep level. So I think those are two separate areas that you want to make sure that you master in your life and you grow, you improve, you have goals for. A lot of people, they have goals for their business, they have goals for their body, they have goals for their relationship, but they don't have goals for their family and friends. And that's why their family and friends aren't as good as where it could really be. A lot of people don't have goals for their emotions. That's why their emotions aren't as high as it could be. They don't have goals for their mindset and beliefs. That's why their mindset and beliefs aren't as high as could be. Because whatever you set goals for, you're going to focus on consistently in your life. And whatever you focus on consistently is going to grow and it's going to improve. It's going to make progress.
So what if you set some new goals? You had a vision for your family. You know, for myself, it's going on family trips and giving to them at a much higher level than before, connecting with them at a much deeper level and creating more magic moments. Maybe the same thing with your friends. Maybe it's finding new friends, new people to surround yourself with, right? Who you spend time with is who you become. I love a great saying, which is that show me your friends and I'll show you your future. Because in a lot of cases, a lot of people surrounding themselves with friends that aren't the most supportive people, aren't going anywhere in their lives. And in some ways, unfortunately, that can hold you back. It's not a fun topic to discuss, but it's true. Having fun in your life. You know, this was an important one for me. I realized, man, I'm crushing it in all different areas of my life, my business, my health, my relationship, my friends and family is great, but that doesn't guarantee that you're having fun. Now, for me, fun, I break down as your hobbies, right? Your hobbies, remember those? Having hobbies in your life. I break that down as adventure, maybe travel. You gotta have that. You know, when you're a kid, you have no problem having fun, right? Kids know how to have fun, but oftentimes when adults, we grow up, we lose that essence of fun. We lose that inner child that we all have, and I think we gotta nurture that on a more regular basis. You know, so I was thinking to myself, yeah, you know what? I'm not having as much fun as I'd like to have in my life. Life has become a lot more serious. And I thought to myself, well, maybe that's because I don't have that as a freaking area of my life on my pyramid that I'm consistently focusing on and setting goals for. So I had a breakthrough. I thought, what would happen in my life if I actually added fun to my list? I added fun to my triangle, my pyramid, and I decided, you know what? I'm gonna set goals for fun. I'm gonna make that a priority. And then what I did, I thought to myself, you know, when I was a kid, what did I used to do that was just pure fun? I was doing it not for success or not for money, not for purpose or mission or anything like that. It was just pure fun. It lit me up and I enjoyed it fully. And then I thought to myself, man, you know, I used to love video games, right? I just used to love it. You know, I used to love some games. I mean, I had PlayStation and computer, and I used to play Diablo and Diablo 2 and World of Warcraft and all these different games. I used to play games that were like typing games. It was like a Dungeons and Dragons typing game. I was like a super big nerd back then, but that's what I used to play and that's what I used to do, and that was fun for me. But what happened in my life is that got way out of balance where I became addicted to it, and basically my entire life was video games. And it was destructive to me at that point in my life because I didn't have health, I didn't have relationships, I didn't have emotions, I didn't have anything else on the list. It was just fun, video games, and it was a way of escaping in my life instead of something that adds to my life once everything else is in balance. So I realized, you know what, maybe I could still play video games if everything in my life is in balance. If my health is great, my business is great, all those things are great, and I'm focusing on them, I've got balance. What's wrong with adding some fun? What's wrong with maybe playing some video games? Now, I don't personally play much video games, but every once in a while, I got a PlayStation 4, and I'll have some friends over, and we'll play the UFC 2 and NBA, and just different games like that, and have fun, you know, and I'll allow myself to get into it and being competitive, and it's a different side of myself that I get to nurture. You know, another thing I used to love in my life is I used to love wrestling. I mean, man, I was the biggest WWE fan, The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin and WCW and NWO and, you know, all that. I used to love that. When I was a kid, I used to have, my whole room was covered with posters of these guys, right? Like I collected all the different posters. I had the toys. I had all that stuff. I used to record Monday Night Raw and stuff on VHS. And then watch it again and again. I was so obsessive. This is before, back in the 90s, before the internet became big and stuff. I used to love that. I thought to myself, man, I got to revisit some of that stuff because I got so much joy out of that, so much fun, that what would happen if I brought a little bit of that back in my life? So I could go on and on about that. I get excited about it. But adding that, maybe that's an area for you that's part of your vision that you want to focus on, that what you want to master. The other piece is contribution. Now, it is true that in your mission, your job, you're adding value, you're contributing in some way. If you got a job, you're already contributing to your job. You're contributing to the company that you work for. If you have a relationship with anyone, to have that relationship, you got to be contributing to have a sustainable relationship. If you've got a business, you're contributing through your mission, through your business, contributing to your customers, providing a product, a service, etc. But I thought to myself, that's great. And I think we all need to make sure that we feel that contribution, because sometimes you could be contributing but not feel it, not really acknowledge yourself, the impact, the difference that you're really making. So I think you got to feel that more and acknowledge yourself for the contribution that you're making. But to take it even a step further, what would happen if that was a separate area of your life where you're giving, but you're not giving a get? Because in business, you're giving, but you're getting something back. People are paying you for a product or service. So you're giving, but you're getting something else back in return. And hopefully, if you're successful in business, it's because you're over-delivering, you're giving people more value than what they pay for and what you get back. But I thought to myself, what would happen if I added contribution to an area of my life where I'm giving not to get, I'm giving out of just pure being selfless, making an impact, making a difference, empowering people in the world that they don't even know who I am, they can't give me anything back, but it's just pure service to others. Example for me is, I've been involved in building houses in schools. I built some houses in Nicaragua last year, in El Salvador, and built schools in Ethiopia, and Kenya, and Ecuador. I'm going to Ethiopia later this year to volunteer and build one of the schools that I funded. But, that's just pure contribution. And when you contribute in that way, it's amazing what that does for you. Now, yes, you could still say that when you give, regardless of whether they give you anything physically back, you're still getting something back, because when you give, the truth is that you feel good about yourself. You get a certain emotion, a certain feeling that you get from that. You get a sense of pride maybe. So you're still getting something back when you give. But in the same way, what if you're doing it not for that purpose, but you're just doing it because it's right? You're just doing it because it's who you are. I think that's such an important area of life, and it's an important area that really I think we all have a responsibility to do, to find a way to get outside ourselves. And oftentimes when you do that, you focus on certain something better, something greater than yourself, outside of yourself. You put yourself in a state of abundance, and you get out of the fear and scarcity that holds many people back. So contribution is key. Having goals for that. Finding ways, no matter where you are right now, maybe you don't have much money, or maybe it's time you can give, but the money, you can give $1, you can give a quarter every once in a while to a homeless person, right? There's always a way to give. If you don't believe that you can give, then you're seriously suffering from a scarcity mentality. It's going to hold you back massively in your life. It's going to hold you back from more money, more success, more abundance in your life. You're not going to really be able to be happy. The happiest people that I know are the most generous people. They're the ones that are consistently giving, contributing, and they're finding ways to add value, not just on a big scale, a macro level, but also on a small level as well, individually with different people in their lives. So find a way to give. And then the last piece that I determined here was spirituality. Now, the conflict that I had before spirituality was like at the top of the pyramid, but I realized, I thought to myself, one could argue that spirituality is the most important area of life, because spirituality actually goes beyond our life. As Wayne Dyer said, we are not human beings having a spiritual experience. We're spiritual beings having a human experience. It's a pretty profound statement. We are not human beings having a spiritual experience. We're spiritual beings having a human experience. So I thought to myself, if that's the case, if we have deep within us, whether you believe it or not, have an open mind here for a sec. If you believe deep within us, we have a spirit that is beyond our mind or body, and that maybe when you die, nobody knows what happens, but certain people believe, I believe, that you have a spirit, your spirit goes on. Maybe you go to heaven, maybe you have an afterlife, maybe, you repeat the whole process again. Who knows what happens, really? But spirituality is believing and having a sense of awareness of something bigger than this moment. Right now, a lot of people focus just on their life, which is really just a moment in time from 0 to 100 years old, and then that's it. That's all there is. And spirituality says that there's something bigger than that. There's something more. And so that's why I thought, spirituality, it doesn't really fit within this, because our spirit embodies all of this. And at the same time, maybe, we got this pyramid here, this blueprint, but maybe there's another one. after you die, or maybe there's been other ones before your current existence right now called your life. And at the same time, maybe I thought to myself, at first I put it in a circle, but I thought a circle is a metaphor. It's a metaphor that has a limitation on it. And spirituality is not limited because it's infinite. Nobody knows. We only have a certain level of awareness. Similar in the same way right now, we live on this planet Earth, and through technology, through astronomers and scientists, we're able to look to see, and we've now come to realize we've expanded our awareness that there's this planet Earth, but there's also other planets, that we live in a solar system, and that we're a part of a galaxy, and then we live in a universe that has millions of other, maybe billions, I don't know, but of stars and planets and other solar systems, and then there's black holes that lead to like other universes, and it's just this mind-blowing thing. And really, through the technology that we just have a small glimpse of that, the smallest glimpse, because that's just our current level of awareness of it. So spirituality is something that's always expanding, and it's an area of life that you can't really master. It doesn't really fit in with the concept of mastery, because it's something that we still do not understand. We still don't really fully grasp. We have awareness of it, we meditate, we pray, certain things, but there's still so much uncertainty and unknown with it that you can't master it, but you can definitely grow in it. You can have that essence in that part of your life, in my opinion, okay? So does this make sense for you guys? If it does, hit the thumbs up button. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, if you're watching this on Facebook, love to know that you guys are here actually watching, engaging, so hit the thumbs up. That's the equivalent of raising your hand or saying yes or whatever it is. Give me some sort of acknowledgement so I know that this makes sense for you guys. For those on Instagram and for those on Periscope, make sure you guys give me some love, some double taps. And by the way, for those again on Instagram and Periscope, understand we're streaming this on YouTube and Facebook. The best quality stream where you're gonna see everything that I'm sharing with you here is gonna be on the Project Life Mastery YouTube channel and the Stephen James on Facebook. So make sure you guys head on over there, like and follow there as well, so that you guys can watch, if you wanna watch the full quality stream of this, okay? Now, again, going a step back, focusing on the macro level, the first step of this process is identifying what is your vision, what is an amazing life to you, breaking down, okay, what areas of life does that embodies that encompasses this, that I have to master in my life to live this amazing life, live life to the max. What I also focus on is having a vision, purpose, and goals. Vision is more macro. It's the ultimate vision. This could be 10 years from now. It could be 20 years, 30, 40, 50 years. It's a much bigger vision that you have for yourself. Might be unrealistic, but whatever's possible, there's no limits to this whatsoever, okay? That's the vision, that's the macro, that's the what. That's the more spirit side. And then the purpose is identifying why that's important to you. Why is this vision important to you, and why are these different areas of my life important for me to master? You've got to associate to your purpose behind that. And then we get now to the more micro level, which is on a smaller scale. This is more immediate, it's more short term. This is more within a year time frame where it becomes more practical, where you want to identify your specific goals. A lot of people, they do goal setting, but they're doing so not understanding that the goals that you have are really a part of a bigger vision that you have. The goals are just milestones, they're just stepping stones that lead you to achieving a higher vision that you have for yourself. That's maybe 10 or 20 or 30 years from now, right? So the goals are more short term. Goals typically mainly work a year or less. When you go beyond a year, it becomes a lot harder to manage and measure. Most goal setting, for example, within Fortune 500 companies, or yearly goals, annual goals, maybe a 6-month goal, quarterly goal, and monthly goals. I personally like 1-year goals. I also like quarterly goals and also monthly goals. 1-year goals, I'll focus on a lot of things at once, but oftentimes on a month-to-month basis, while I'm still making progress in all these different areas and I have goals that I'm moving towards, there's maybe 1 or 2 or 3 core areas that I'm really focusing on at a time, okay? So understand that at times you might have to get out of balance in your life, and that's okay as long as you return to center, as long as you return to that, okay? So the goals are the how, breaking that down, and also breaking down the actions. The rituals. Rituals are very important as well. Rituals are consistent actions that you have on an ongoing basis. They become habits for you. And I think in every area of your life, you got to make sure you got the goals, you got the actions, you got the rituals for, okay? So this is part of the model. I'm not going to have the time to go in through all the different areas because the hierarchy and determining the sequence of them is very important in how you live your life as well. But this gives you guys an idea of this. And another piece, I won't have time to go fully into this, but this is the weekly evaluation ritual that I created. So once you've determined your goals and the different areas of your life and you've gone through that process, then it's consistently measuring yourself in each area on a weekly basis, okay, on a weekly basis. So what I personally do is I have this in a spreadsheet. I also have this on a whiteboard in my office. But having it in a spreadsheet or a journal is really great because you want to make sure that you can go back over previous weeks. You want to make sure that you can compare yourself. Now, the great business management consultant, Peter Drucker, he was most known for going into businesses and turning them around. And one of the things that he did is he would break down the different components of a business. So he'd go into a business and he'd break down and say, okay, you know what? There's the accounting department of this business. There's the HR department. There's the sales department. There's the marketing department. There's the product development department. There's the customer service department, and break down the different areas similar to what I showed you. And then what he'd do is he would measure each area of the business. And consistently by measuring it, when you measure something, you can make progress on it. One of his famous quotes is that you can't manage something if you don't measure it. So you got to first, what measuring does is it helps you identify exactly where you're at right now in your life in each area. And a lot of times, a lot of people avoid this because it might feel uncomfortable to admit to yourself and be honest that you're not really where you want to be. A lot of people, it's painful to maybe recognize, hey, you know what, man, my finances suck. Or, you know what, my relationship, I've been neglecting that, and you feel bad about it. But when you get to the truth, you can change anything. When you're honest with yourself, a lot of people, for example, they might be in debt and they just avoid it. They avoid finances. They link so much pain to it. They don't even want to look at their credit card statements because, it's going to make them feel bad. They're going to get stressed out. They're going to have anxiety over that. But I say that you got to confront that. You got to know where you're at because that starting point can actually be empowering because you can make progress off of that. You can start to measure and see the progress. Oftentimes, people that might be overweight, they don't want to look at the scale. They don't want to look at the reality. They don't want to face the truth because it's painful. It doesn't make you feel good. But again, when you can confront that and face it, it's going to give you pain. Don't get me wrong. You will feel uncomfortable, but you can choose to use that pain to drive you. Maybe you're a 2 out of 10 in your health and fitness, right? You're a 2. And that doesn't feel good for you, but you might say, you know what, how can I bring myself to a 3 next week? How can I grow from this and make progress? And sure enough, if you consistently focus on measuring on a weekly basis, making progress, it's amazing how your life can change. It's amazing how that can transform for you. So you got to measure on a regular basis. You got to journal. You got to assess and evaluate your life, just like any big company. It's amazing how these big companies, Fortune 500 companies, they all do this stuff. And people don't do this for their freaking life. It's insane how people don't have a system for their life. They have a system for their business, but not their life. The big companies, they have systems. They have systems that they use to manage their team, to manage different components of their business. That's what allows a business to grow. And they're not valuing their entire life and breaking their entire life down in that way and developing a system for that can guarantee that you make progress. Because I can guarantee if you're measuring on a regular basis, it's going to go up like this. There might be ups and downs, but the trend is going to go up because that level of awareness about where you're at and understanding your life, just awareness can change your life. Just having that awareness can allow you to continue to grow and make progress. So this is a powerful system. Creating something like this is amazing, okay? It's a life-changing thing. Okay, so what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to answer some questions that you guys have in a little bit for those that have been watching this. Any questions you guys have relating to this, I'll do the best that I can to answer them for you. You guys can post it on the YouTube chat, on the Facebook comments, and on Instagram and Periscope. And I also want to share with you guys something I'm really excited about that I'm announcing here for the very first time. Something we've been working on for a little while now. Something a lot of people have wanted from me for a long time. A lot of people have been asking me to do something like this. And I finally decided, okay, you know what? I'm going to create it. Let's put it together and let's do it. So today I'm excited to announce something called the Life Mastery Accelerator. Okay, the Life Mastery Accelerator. And the Life Mastery Accelerator is a monthly coaching and mentoring program that can allow you, here's why I created it, can allow you to focus on, enhance, and master all these different areas of your life. So basically how it works is it's a monthly program where, number one, I've given away a few different bonuses, 3 primary bonuses. When you join, you actually get this Life Mastery Management System. So what I shared with you, but I go a lot more in depth into this. Okay, I got a lot more in depth training videos that explain this process and help guide you to create the system for you in your life. I also teach the weekly evaluation tool. That's also a bonus as well. Okay, so I explain this to you, help you integrate this into your life. I just go a lot deeper into it. I just kind of gave you an introduction to it, a bit of a glance in today's live stream for that. Also, I have a bonus called the Life Mastery Mentality, helping you understand the mentality of a master. I talk a lot about the dabbler, the master. You probably heard me talk about this a lot before, but I go a lot deeper into it. And it's a video that I do recommend watching again and again and again. Okay, it's one of the most important things that I teach, because if you can't understand the mastery mentality, then you're not going to master your life. Nothing that I share with you is going to work. Nothing's going to benefit you. Nothing. That's why a lot of people struggle and fail when it comes to anything in their life, because they have the dabbler mentality. They're not committing to mastery. Okay. So it's a mastery-based program. Everything I teach now inside my training courses are mastery-based programs, and I now teach what that means and help people adopt that mentality in their life, okay? Another bonus is a Facebook group, private Facebook group, that is also a part of it as well. But the monthly program is basically a live stream similar to this, where every single month we go live. I've got the flip chart. I share with you and I teach more high-level, more premium concepts in each area of life. Okay, so for example, in 1 month we go deep into health. We talk about health. I'm sharing with you the best of the best, most cutting-edge strategies that I know for optimal health. This is an area of my life that I've focused on mastering for many, many years. I feel I've got a high level of mastery of it, although I'm still growing and improving in that area, but health is something that I've mastered. So I share my best strategies for that in 1 month. And then what we do is, after I teach, then I'm coaching and mentoring you, and I'm answering your questions. Okay, this is the only way right now to get monthly ongoing personal development, training, Q&A, mentorship from me. I don't do any, I do coaching, but oftentimes my coaching is really expensive. For most, it's over $1,000 an hour. And the people that can afford that and that typically work with me are people that have big businesses, and then I coach them on how to grow their business. So life coaching is something that I don't do, and a lot of people have been wanting me to do this, and the only way that I can do this on scale is by putting together a monthly program like this. And the great thing is, it doesn't cost over $1,000 a month. It's very, very inexpensive. In fact, right now we have an early bird discount for only $19 a month. Okay, $19 a month. So I'll share with you guys a link that you guys can go to check it out. It'll explain more about it. I don't want to, I'll just send you guys to the website and you guys can check it out. So just go to www. lifemasteryaccelerator.com. Okay, www.lifemasteryaccelerator.com. Head on over there. You're going to learn more about it. It's going to basically explain to you what's involved, the different bonuses that I have there as well. We're doing our first live webcast on April 4th. So you can show up live. I teach, again, more deep, more premium, more high-level content. This is not content that I teach on YouTube or anywhere else. It's a lot more premium content that you're getting from me. And then I do the Q&A where I answer your questions. And then we also take the recording of that. We make that available inside a members area. So when you join, you get access to the members area you can log into. You can access the bonuses that we have, as well as on a month-to-month basis, you get access to the live training that we're putting together there on a monthly basis, okay? If you can't make it for a live session, that's okay. Again, the recording is there for you inside the members area so that you can watch it again and again. But as I was saying, every month we focus on a new area. We focus on emotions for a new area, focusing on emotions for one month out of the year. Go deep into that, share some of the best there. Same thing with business or your mission. Same thing with spirituality. Same thing with fun and family and friends. All the areas that I think are the most important, are the most universal areas for most people that are watching this. Okay, so it's a deep dive going into more advanced, more premium content. That's what it is. $19 a month, early bird discount. Regular price is $29 a month, so you can save some money if you join before April 4th. The details again are at lifemasteryaccelerator.com. And also there is an annual plan if you want to sign up for the whole year. It actually becomes cheaper if you do the annual plan. And I'll throw in one additional bonus if you do decide to do the annual plan, and it's my Morning Ritual Mastery program. So Morning Ritual Mastery is a 7-day training program that I created that helps people create a morning ritual in their life. And I think that's a really important piece, because morning rituals is what allows you to consistently every day have a ritual for your health, for your mindset, your beliefs, your emotions, and other areas of your life as well. So rituals are something that's changed my life in a huge way. And for those that want to sign up for the 1 year, we'll throw that in as an additional bonus. When you sign up for it, we'll have to manually send you that as a bonus afterwards as well, okay? All right, so let's get to some questions that you guys have. It looks like the stream might have stopped on Instagram. I think with Instagram, there's a limitation where the stream can only go for maybe about an hour or so. So people on Instagram, unfortunately, lost them. But we got Periscope here, we got Facebook and YouTube. If you guys have questions, you guys can post them. I'll do the best that I can to answer them for you. All right. Let's see who we got here. And by the way, for questions you have, post it with a question mark. Question mark that will allow me to search through, because there's so many comments here. I just want to make sure that I can go right through the questions that people have. So make sure you have a question mark, and I'm just going to do a quick search for any question marks in the chat. Okay, Todd here says, I've got a big question. I feel as if life always happens to get in the way of starting writing my book. Should I wait to start until I have a dedicated space? Help. Okay, Todd, your book isn't going to happen until you decide to make that a priority. When you say that life gets in the way, all you're really saying to me is that you're prioritizing these other things more than writing your book. When you make it a priority for yourself and you fully commit yourself to it, that's when you're going to do it. A lot of people, they're not successful in their life because it's not important enough to them. It's not a priority. They're not fully committed to it. I often say that success is reserved for those that are truly committed to achieving success. And if I said to you, Todd, you should start writing your book this week. Oftentimes, a lot of people are going to have their limitations, excuses, and stories. And just to make this applicable to everyone here, a lot of people, they want to start a business. They want to change their body. They want to attract a relationship. They want to take anything to your life to the next level. If I were to ask you, why haven't you done it yet? Or if I were to say to you, well, just do this, get this course, go through this program, commit yourself this weekend to do it. What are you doing right now? Right now you're watching a stream. You could spend that time to write your book. Could you not? Right? You could do it this evening. You could make the time if you're really committed to it. But what happens for a lot of people is they have stories, beliefs, and excuses that get in the way. They have a reason for it. The reasons will be, well, I can't do it, or I'm too busy, I don't have the time, I don't have the money. They're going to say, well, my English isn't good, I'm not the best writer yet. And there'll be some sort of reason, story, or excuse of why they can't do it or shouldn't do it. And the challenge is, the reason why you're not succeeding is because your reasons for not doing it, you have more, here, let me say that again. The reason why you're not succeeding is that you have more reasons for not doing it than the reasons for doing it. You got to have more reasons for writing your book. You got to associate more to the why, the purpose of what this will give you. You got to make it more important than anything. When I changed my financial situation in my life, when I was broke and struggling, it wasn't until I made succeeding in business the most important thing in my life. And I thought to myself, what's more important than this, than growing a business and making passive income? Because Yes, in the grand scheme of my life, health is more important, my relationships, my family, my spiritual life, that's more important. But I realized that if I made a short-term sacrifice in those areas of my life and I focused 3 years of pure dedication, immersion in building a business and creating passive income, that if I achieved financial freedom from that, then that would allow me to eliminate the 9-to-5 job and create a lifestyle and have the freedom to do whatever I wanted to. Oftentimes people are focused, on other things that don't matter as much. Listen, you build a business, you launch your book, you crush it with that, you make it big, you make a lot of money from that. You're going to have all the time in the world then to go party with your friends, to spend time with your family and friends. You're going to have all the time in the world to work out. You're going to have all the time in the world to be with a relationship and travel the world and go on vacations and do all those sort of things. Okay, so maybe you just, maybe you've decided that other things are more important for you. And that might be right or might be wrong, but I can tell you this, it's not until you make your book or your business more important than those other things, then it's not going to happen. Okay, it's not going to happen. So you got to prioritize it. You have to overcome these beliefs that you have, these stories, because understand that they're not true. Here's always the test when you know a belief is bullshit, okay, if you have a limiting belief. Whatever excuse that you have, Todd, about why you can't do your book, let me ask you this. If there was a gun to your head, okay, if there was a gun to your head, and I said to you, I'm going to pull the trigger if you don't finish and write your book in the next 30 days, would you find a way to write your book? The answer is yes. Because when there's a consequence to not doing something and it's important enough and you're committed to it and it's a high enough priority, you will find the way. And if you don't find the way, you will make the way. I can guarantee it. You're going to pull all-nighters. You're going to stay up late at night. Their friends and family are going to call you to hang out. You're saying, I can't right now. You're going to turn off your phone and you're going to freaking sit down and write that book until it's done. Because it's important to you. It's a must. So the gun to the head analogy destroys any limiting belief. That's how you know when you're bullshitting yourself and you have a story and excuse. Because again, if it's a must for you, you will make the time. I guarantee you'll sleep less. You'll cut out Facebook. You'll cut out TV. I'm not saying that's healthy long term. I'm not emphasizing that at all. But short term, you got to make sacrifices to get to where you want to go. If you want to create a great body, you got to make a short-term sacrifice. Maybe a long-term sacrifice of cutting out certain foods that you can no longer indulge in, right? If you want to have a great relationship, you got to make a sacrifice. You got to cut out those negativity patterns, blaming, judging, resentment, all those things. You got to sacrifice that if you want to have a great relationship, right? So you got to always understand there's a price that you got to pay. The question is, are you willing to pay it? All right, let's move on to another question. All right, let's see here. And just for the record, you don't have to put 3 question marks, just put 1 question mark, and I'll be able to find the questions. Okay, here's a question from Quest. Hey, Stefan, what was your turning point in your life that changed your mindset, and how did you start? What was the first thing that you earned money with on the internet? Okay, well, first point changing my mindset was when I was 17 years old. I was shy, I was insecure, as probably most people are at that age. I didn't have very many friends. I was depressed. I was very unhappy with my life. I was very socially awkward, and I was not a good student in school. I was a C- student, barely got by, and I skipped a lot of school because I just wanted to escape. I just felt so uncomfortable, so much pain in that environment. It was, I just felt I had no control over my life, and so I went to an area that I did have control over, and I did feel important in and significant, and I felt capable and competent in, which was video games. And video games was this fantasy world that I lived in where I had friends, I connected with people, and I was anonymous, and I felt safe, and I felt special and unique, and I had these special skills and everything. And so for me, video games consumed my life, literally like all day, all night, all morning, isolating myself, skipping school to play video games, not doing homework, not studying, none of that stuff. It was very unhealthy, and it got to the point where it was very destructive to my life because It was an addiction that I had that cost relationships and happiness and other areas of life that were more important. I think you can have fun, but again, fun is much higher on the list. The other foundation, that's really what life is, and you got to make sure you max that out. And for me, turning points, there was a few, but one of them is I remember having a crush on this girl in school and having feelings for her, and I was very, I've always been a very emotional person, but at the time I was very emotional, and I just thought I was in love with this girl, and I had a crush and feeling I was fantasizing over her, and I remember just having a certain experience where I got hurt, and she broke my heart, and I was devastated, and I just was depressed, and I was crying, and it got to the point where I just hit rock bottom, and I made a decision that I had to change my life. I had to change. And I made that decision. I decided I'm no longer going to settle in my life. And I think when you get to that point, it's amazing how sometimes you got to have the breakdown to have the breakthrough. I made some changes in my life. I discovered the world of self-improvement. The concept of self-improvement changed my life because I didn't believe that you could change. I was, back then, when I was negative, I was a troll, I was a hater, I was a critic, I was a skeptic. That's who I was. That's why I relate to people that are like that today. I know I was one, right? And so I've been there, and it wasn't until I had so much pain living my life that way, I finally decided that I had to live my life a different way. I was able to overcome that, discover self-improvement, started to improve myself, reading books, never looked back after that. I was 17 years old. I'm now 30 years old today. So it's been 13, almost 14 years now of just constantly focused on improving my life and mastering it as much as I possibly can. So that was a big turning point for me. There's been many others since then. Other question was, what was the first way that I made money online? So my first business was when I was 21 years old. It was called Lifestyle Transformations. It was a dating, coaching, confidence, social skills company. Also doing some just general life coaching too. More so for men, because I made a big change from 17 to 21. I had a roommate that said, Stefan, you should coach people. You should help other people that also struggle from this, because for me, I made such a change in myself where I started going out and approaching people and doing public speaking and acting and improv just to improve myself, to become comfortable with discomfort. I made such a change. People were like, wow, you're so different. Your voice is different. Eye contact, your body language, you're just a different person. They didn't even recognize me. And so my roommate said, you should coach, you should help people. And he believed in me, and that gave me belief in myself. And I started coaching locally in Vancouver. I had 2 business partners as well. We did that business. It was a tough business doing speaking and coaching. The demand wasn't really there for it. But from that, I learned internet marketing, and I had to learn how to fill up seminars and promote and market myself and everything. But I realized after like a year or 2 in that I needed to make passive income. And I read the book, The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss. And I was just going to different seminars and learning, going through different programs. So I realized that right now I'm trading my time for money. I got to create an information product. And so at the time I focused on writing a book. It took me a year to write the book. It was like a dating confidence social skill book for men. And it took me a year to write it. I remember even having my mom and my sister proofread it and everything. And then I launched that online, but well before there was WordPress or anything like that. I think, but it was just like HTML, a long form sales page and everything. I had to learn copywriting and all this stuff. And long story short, I launched that book. I think I launched it for 20 or 30 bucks, but made a little bit of money, but not much. And so overall, the time that I put in, like that year plus to do that, and all the things that I went through from that wasn't profitable. I'd consider it to be a failure. But the blessing from that was that I learned a lot. I learned copywriting. I learned a lot of great skills that have now benefited me today. But that book was the first one that I ever wrote and did, and first way that I made money. And the money didn't last from that. And then I went on a journey of finding all these other ways of making money and trying different things. I made some money, I lost some money. I was doing affiliate marketing and made some money there and lost some money there. And I was doing publishing and made some money there, lost some money there, and then eventually built that up and exploded with publishing, building a business from that. And now it's been so many different other things that I've done since then, but it's been a fun journey. Okay, and Keat says, question, how to be sure if I'm on the right path even if the results are not visible? Thanks. Okay, good question. The truth is results will not be visible initially, because when you start building something, here's a kind of a good analogy for you. If you want to plant a seed, okay, you plant the seed in the soil. Now what happens is, this is what's above ground, this is what's below ground. Initially you're starting to take action, you're starting to grow your business, you're starting to create new habits, or you're following the path or whatever, and you don't see anything. You don't see anything above ground, but what you don't understand is that there's roots. That's my poor drawing of roots right there. There's roots that are growing below ground. This building the foundation for you for the success in your life. So a lot of people, what happens is they start planting the seed, they're developing the roots and stuff. They don't see anything above ground, so they get discouraged, they give up. And meanwhile, if they just kept at it, they keep watering the seed, they keep fertilizing it, taking good care of it, then eventually what happens is the tree sprouts. This is a really poor example of a tree. Tree sprouts, and eventually there's fruits, which are the results that manifest on the tree, okay? So that's the process of success, everything, You have to have the patience, and that's why you got to adopt the mastery mentality. Now, let me share with you guys why people don't achieve their goals. Here's why. You're here. This is you. This is your goal. Your goal, just to engage you guys a little bit, what are some goals that you aspire to create in your life? Okay, what are some goals? Leave a comment. Let me know some goals that you want to create, goals that you currently have. Okay, we got money. We'll just do some general ones. Money. Maybe the goal is to be happy. Maybe the goal is love, right? Relationship, whatever it is. Any goal that you have, I want you to think for a moment of a goal. A goal that you have for yourself. Maybe it's a goal in the past that you came up short with. Now, anytime you set a new goal, you're excited about it, right? You have the initial newness and excitement for that goal. You're pumped up, it's a new goal, you're excited, you're enthusiastic about it, you discover something new. All of a sudden, you've got a 9-to-5 job, you discover the world of internet marketing and online business, and you're excited, you're like, wow, I'm gonna create one, you get excited. You discover a new diet, you discover a new workout plan, let's say, or whatever it is. Maybe you're single, you discover there's something called Tinder, or you discover there's online dating and you get excited about it. There's a newness, there's a rush. When you're first excited, it's very easy to take action and make progress. Very easy to make progress. So initially what happens is you're making progress, which is great. You're developing new habits. You start following your new diet, your new nutrition plan. You start going to the gym consistently. You start taking actions in your business. You start publishing content and doing these great things that you're supposed to be doing, so you see immediate progress. But what happens is, while you're on the path, is that inevitably you hit what is called a plateau. A plateau. The plateau could be many things, and I'm sure you can relate. Maybe the plateau is that you just lose your motivation. You get discouraged. Maybe something happens that's outside of your control. You're building a business on Amazon, and then Amazon does something that changes it, and you get discouraged by that. Or maybe you're following the diet, the nutrition plan, and then something happens where you fall off track and you lose your momentum. Maybe you go on a family trip, you go on vacation, and that interrupts your routines that you had, the momentum that you were getting, and so now all of a sudden you had a few, too many cheat days, and you didn't go to the gym, and then you come back to your city, and you come back home, and oh man, you got to start over again. You lost that momentum that you had, right? That's a plateau. Maybe the plateau is that, I know something that was outside of your control might have happened in a relationship, in a personal life, maybe in your job, maybe in the economy, whatever it is. Maybe it's just physically you're working out, you hit a plateau, you stop growing. Maybe you get injured. Whatever it is, that's called a plateau. Now, for a lot of people, when they hit a plateau, something happens. Something happens. What happens is they start to regress. They start to regress. They start, the momentum that they had, the progress they made, it starts to diminish itself. Because if you're not growing, then you're dying, right? I don't care what. If you're not growing in your life, your business, your health, relationships, you're not growing in any area of your life, then you're dying. So what happens is you regress and you give up oftentimes, and you think to yourself, that wasn't really for me, or it doesn't work. the course didn't work, the training didn't work, the diet didn't work, whatever it is. And what happens is maybe eventually you start all over again. For most people, they do. Because oftentimes this one failure isn't enough to paralyze most people. Sometimes it is. Some people fail once and that's all. They just link so much pain to that they stop trying and they stop going for it. But for some people, the diet didn't work. Maybe a few months or a year after that, they get excited again. They find a new diet, a new workout program, a new opportunity to build a business online, a new app that, I don't know, I've been in a relationship for a few years now, but when I was single, there was Tinder. I'm sure there's other apps now too that exist. But people get into that, and sure enough, they get excited again. They start making progress. They get into it, and they're growing, and sure enough, maybe they get further ahead, maybe they don't, but they hit the plateau. There's always a plateau that you're going to hit. It's inevitable. I don't know why people are so surprised when there's a plateau. I'm like, oh yeah, of course there's a plateau. There's always a plateau in life, right? You got to learn to recognize that. But sure enough, they drop back down, and then maybe they repeat the cycle again and again and again, and then what happens is, I call this the triangle of pain. The triangle of pain, where you just keep, what happens when you get your hopes up, when you go for something, you set a goal, but then you come up short, and you do that again and again and again. What happens is, in your brain, your mindset, part of you feels, why even try? Why even set a goal? Why even do my New Year's resolution if all the previous years I set them, I was excited, and I failed and came up short? Right? You had the pattern of failure, so like, part of you, when you set a goal, you started the new diet or whatever, the new business, there's a part of you that's still allowing the past failure and experience to affect you today in the present and future. And people repeat the cycle again. That's how people become skeptical. They just think, I've already tried it all, or none of that stuff works, or it's not for me, or I'm just born this way, I'm big boned, maybe I'm just gonna stick to my job. And they allow those failures, those plateaus, to affect them. And the dangerous thing is they get into a state of what is called learned helplessness. Learned helplessness, where you think nothing will ever work. And if you have that, then, man, you're in a really tough position in your life. Now, I believe that none of you are there because you're watching this. You're here today. You're committed to wanting to change and improve your life, and I respect you for that. You're one of the few people out there that are this committed to want to grow and be better. And so what you got to do is you got to understand that the way to get out of this is committing to mastery. Committing to mastery. You can no longer be the dabbler, because this here is what the dabbler does, man. This is what the dabbler does. Now, the reason when you didn't achieve this goal, the goal is there. Here's why. I'll use a different color just to make this stand out for you. Reason why you didn't achieve your goal is because of this. It's not because of the plateau. It's not because whatever happened in your life. It's not because of that at all. Okay? That's a story. Reason you didn't achieve your goal is because you stopped. You stopped. You stopped growing. You stopped learning. You stopped committing yourself. You stopped trying. You stopped believing. You stopped having faith. If you had just kept going, oftentimes, people, they hit a wall. And the dabbler is someone, they hit the wall, they hit the plateau, they give up, and they get discouraged, and they complain about it. The master is someone, they hit the wall, they're going to find a way over that wall. They're going to go over it, they're going to go under it, they're going to go around it, they're going to break through the wall. They're going to find a way over that wall because they're committed to the goal that they're after. They're committed to their dream or their desire. So they don't stop, they hit the plateau, and they find a way past it. They find a way past it. It's all about your perseverance in life, guys. Now, the way to fast track things, to accelerate it, is by finding a mentor, a master, a coach, someone that already has the results that you're after. Because a lot of times people, with the question that you ask is, how do I know if I'm on the right track, if I'm not seeing the results? It's because, number one, you don't have a plan. You don't have a map that is there to guide you, and you're not measuring yourself to see whether or not you're doing the right things or not. If you had a mentor would allow you to avoid the plateaus in the first place. For example, if you wanted to, you're trying to lose weight, let's say, and you start the diet and nutrition plan, a mentor is going to say, hey, you know what? Here's what you got to do. You're going on vacation. Okay, you got to watch out. There's going to be a plateau there. here's what you got to do to make sure you don't lose your momentum. They're going to help you see things that you can't see because you're starting from here, they're up here. They've got a different perspective on the journey because they've already been through it. They've already been through the obstacles, the plateaus, the pain points, so that mentor is able to guide you. The mentor is able to tell you, yes, you're doing the right things. Yes, you're on track. You're making progress. Yes, you are. Right? That's what a good mentor does. If you've got a personal trainer, you're going to the gym, you're not seeing results, the trainer is going to look at what you're doing. They're going to look at the actions you're putting in. They're going to look at your results. They're going to tell you to keep going, or they're going to say you should adjust or change this. If you're building a business and you're going through a course or a training, a mentor is going to be there to answer your questions and tell you whether or not, yes, you should keep doing that, or no, you should try this instead. Right? They're going to give you feedback. They're going to give you some mentoring. So that's what you need. Now, for me, the stupidest thing ever is trying to reinvent the wheel. Okay? Trying to reinvent the wheel is just the stupidest thing that you can do because it's always already been invented. Someone's already done it and proven it. Don't try to reinvent it. Just learn what already works and do that. Right? That's what you got to do. Learn what already works and just do that. Commit yourself to that. And that's why everyone needs a mentor. Everyone needs a coach. Everyone needs someone that can pull them there. If they're trying to do it on your own, you're going to get caught up in this cycle. That's why a lot of people, oftentimes what people do is they go through this a few times and then they hire a coach. But now they're bringing all their baggage with them to the coach. It's much better. Why didn't you just get a coach from the first place? Because they were stubborn and their ego got in the way, thinking that they could do it on their own. 3 most dangerous words in the human language. You know what they are? I know that. Once you say I know that, you have your ego involved. Your mind closes itself off from learning anything new. The masters of the world are always humble. They believe that they can always learn and grow. LeBron James is the best basketball player in the world right now. And he has confidence that he's the best, but he doesn't have arrogance or an ego about it because he's still growing and learning as much as he can. He doesn't yet believe that he's the best. It's a part of him that wants to grow and get better. That's a master. A lot of people might think, oh, well, I already know this. They have no humility whatsoever. For me, I'm always understanding that there's still so much for me that I don't know. The more that I know, the more I realize there's a lot more that I don't know. And I find the mentors, I find the coaches, I find other people I can learn from as much as I possibly can. I'm growing at such a fast rate right now, going to seminars, investing myself. This month I went to 3 different seminars in San Diego and Seattle. On Friday I had lunch, a 2.5-hour lunch with a billionaire, and got to pick his brain and communicate with him. I'll be meeting with him again soon as well. So I'm growing at a fast pace. And that's why I created this accelerator. This Life Mastery Accelerator, so that I can share with you things that I've learned in each area of life and help you fast track it. Now, the best thing obviously would be if you and I were friends, we're hanging out day to day, but that's not realistic. And there's just too many people, and that's why I created a program like this on a monthly basis. You have me in your corner sharing with you and teaching you the best of the best I've learned, answering your questions. And I don't know if I'm the right mentor for you or not. Maybe there's someone else, but I assume that if you're here watching this right now, then you probably think so and receiving some benefit and value from me. But that's why I created this, is for all the people out there that want my help, that want me to mentor them, want me to coach them, that always ask for it. I said, great, I'm creating something just for you where I can help you, I can serve you. I'm gonna share with you the best of the best that I know in different areas of my life that I'm growing, things that I'm learning along the way, things that I'm paying a lot of money to learn and grow in, the mentors, the people that have helped and served me in my life. I wanna share that, give that to you, and hopefully help you master your entire life, going back to the blueprint here. Coming back to this and making sure that you guys in each area of your life, you have that balance in your life. Because when you do, that's when life becomes amazing. That's when you become the most fulfilled, is when you got the balance and you're excelling in every area of your life at the highest possible level. Okay? So let's get to another question. And I'm going to jump over to Facebook right now for a question. Let's see.
Sparky says, will the program be repeated the same every year once you have covered the aspects, or will it extend even further? So the program is on a month-to-month basis, okay? So it goes on forever, essentially, okay? Month after month after month. So after a year is over, we're still gonna be doing the next month after that, then the month after that, the month after that, okay? So it's on an ongoing basis program on a month-to-month. Here's a question from Adrian. How to create motivation that pushes you every day to take action? You don't create motivation. Okay, there's two types of motivation. There's push motivation, there's pull motivation. Push motivation is what you're trying to do. You're trying to push yourself. You're trying to create, motivate yourself to do something. Willpower, discipline never lasts. You can do it for a while, but you'll eventually get burnt out. What you need is pull motivation. Pull motivation is when you have a vision, you have goals and a vision that excite you so much. You got a purpose, all the reasons that drive you, that make it important for you, that you're fully committed to. Then what happens is the goals and the how, the actions, they follow that. You're going to have no problem being motivation because now you love it. You're addicted to it. You want it so bad. For me, I love fitness. I love working out. It doesn't take any willpower. It doesn't take any motivation. It doesn't take me trying to motivate myself to do it. It's an addiction that I have. I get so much pleasure and benefit from doing it. I've got goals and a vision that excites me and a purpose for it that I feel pulled towards it. It's almost like I can't not work out. It's like I have to discipline myself to take a days off from the gym. Same thing with my business. I love it so much. I've got such a big vision, such a big purpose and goals for it that I work on my business every day. Not because I have to, because I want to, because I love it. There's nothing more that I want to do instead with my time. It fulfills me so much. In fact, I actually have to discipline myself to not spend as much time on my mission and spend more time with my family and friends and having fun. That's my challenges that I face. Is I get so addicted to, I just get so much fulfillment from doing what I do that I need to discipline like for me, because it is fun. My mission is fun. It's a source of that, but I still have to try to separate it and have some other hobbies and whatnot too. So you got to go through this process. This process will help you create unstoppable motivation. All right, let's get to another question. If you guys have a question, post it here in the chat. I'll take a few more for you guys. Julie says, could someone teach mastery who doesn't quite have their life mastered but knows the basics, what they need to do? If you want to master something, you got to learn from someone who's a master of that area. Okay, there's 3 levels of mastery. I'll share this with you real quick. I'll just tell you what it is. 3 levels of mastery. There's knowing, there's doing, and there's living. Okay, knowing, doing, and living. Someone could have mastery over a certain area of life, like money, great to learn from. But if they're not, you don't want to learn health from someone that's not mastered their health. You don't want to get fitness advice from someone that's overweight, because the knowing level is where a lot of people think what mastery is, because they know all this knowledge or have all this theory or whatever it is in their head. Great, you're just a keyboard jockey or an information junkie. That doesn't mean you've mastered something. That not until you move to the second level of mastery, which is doing. Doing. You're actually taking what's in your head, the knowledge and the theory, and you're actually putting it into action. Knowledge will never lead to wisdom. It'll never make you wise. What makes you wise is experience and actually doing it. That's what leads to you actually being wise. So doing is the next level, but you can do once in a while. That doesn't mean you've mastered something. If you go to the gym once in a while, that doesn't mean you've mastered fitness, you've mastered health. If you eat healthy once in a while, that doesn't mean you've mastered that. If you go to church once a week, or once in a while, that doesn't mean you've mastered that. It's not until you move to the third level of mastery, which is living. Living. Living is when the person's doing it consistently, and it's a part of who they are. It's part of their identity. And they're actually living and getting the results from that. So for example, there's someone that could be a level 1 of knowing in their business.
They know all the theory, all the information out there. They've studied it all. But great, they're caught up in knowing they don't even actually have a business. They haven't even taken that and put into any action whatsoever. So they're caught up at level 1. They got to move on to level 2, which is doing. Great, now you've got a business. You're doing some things once in a while, but maybe you're struggling. Maybe you're making a little bit of money here and there. That's not mastery. Mastery is when you're actually living it. You're consistently getting the results, and you've achieved a level of success. Those are the people that you want to learn from. Learn from people that are at the living phase of mastery. Okay, same thing with fitness. Someone that knows all the theory, great. Don't learn from that person because they haven't put it into action at all, right? They're still on their journey, you know, and they're not at the goal, the result that you're after. So only learn from people that are living the results and living that area of their life. Okay, question please. What could you suggest for a housewife with a little baby, active toddler, no relatives around to help, husband works a lot, I don't have energy or time to do anything else? Okay, there's always a way to you know, regardless of your situation, you got 2 kids, you know, you don't have much, you know, relatives or whatever it is. Understand there's still a lot that you can do. And you've got to make sure that you don't use that as an excuse or a story about why you can't still achieve goals and make progress in your life and have mastery. Now, what you got to do is you got to understand that based on your circumstance, you got to identify what your vision is for your life, and it might be totally different than what's here. For you, your mission might be your family. Your mission might be taking care of the household and really mastering that. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, you got to accept whatever that is for you. You got to find what it is for you, not based on someone else. So what is it for you that's an amazing life for you? And then again, break down the areas that are important to you. You know, maybe for you, business is not for you. Your business and your job every day is taking care of the kids and taking care of the family. And I admire you for that. That's great. A lot of women do that, and I think that's awesome. But at the same time, don't let having kids or not having the help that you need get in the way of mastering your health. Because you still choose every day what to put into your body. You still choose every day what to put into your kid's body. You say you don't have much energy. Well, I can guarantee you don't have energy because you haven't mastered your health. You haven't mastered this right here. You know, regardless of having kids, can you take them to the grocery store with you? Of course. Can you take them out for walks? You know, I live downtown here and I see all the time, you know, mothers with 2 or 3 kids and they've got their kids in the stroller. They're going for walks and jogs. You know, I see mommy groups going around. They're doing yoga together. They got their kids on their back and shoulders and stuff. They're still finding a way because they're committed to it. They're committed to mastering their health. So no energy, you haven't mastered this yet. You got to learn this. You got to master it. You got to keep educating yourself. You got to make changes in your habits, rituals. You can do that regardless of whether or not you have help, okay? That has nothing to do with it whatsoever, okay? Maybe, yes, you got a young kid. You're not going to be able to get as much sleep as you want. But focus on what you can control, not what you can't control. Focus on what you can control, not what you can't control. And you know what? By you being a good example of health, you're going to help your kids be healthier, and you're going to help make a difference for them and be a great role model for them. Same thing with your mindset and beliefs. You got to make sure that's optimized. I know a lot of, you know, I've got a morning ritual mastery course. A lot of women that I know, they have kids, and I've coached them. They got 2 or 3 kids. They don't even have a husband, but they're still doing morning rituals, and they do that with their kids. You know, they're spending time with their kids and they're, you know, focusing on what they're grateful for and expressing love to their kids, and they incorporate their kids into their ritual. You know, they give them their kids healthy juices and you know, going outside with them on a walk and teaching them about gratitude and asking them, what they're grateful for, and you know, putting on music and dancing around the house with them. These are all things you can do that help you develop your mindset beliefs. Doing affirmations and maybe listening to audiobooks when you're in the car driving the kids to school or to daycare or whatever it is. See, you have to be more resourceful. You got to be more resourceful. You got to think smarter and focus on what you can control, not what you can't control. All these areas you can improve and grow. You know, maybe money for you, you know, maybe that's more your husband. Maybe your husband's focused more on those areas of your life. And great, you know, maybe your husband does well financially, and that's awesome. Family and friends, you could still do. You know, you say you don't have any relatives and whatnot, but get some new friends. Go to different meetups and whatnot and meet other moms out there and connect with them and build friendships and relationships with them. Okay, so there's still things you can do. Okay, you got to make sure you identify any beliefs, the mindset here that might be holding you back from doing it. And you can't compare yourself with someone else that's in a different scenario than you. You can't compare yourself with someone like me. You know, I'm in a much different life, different situation. When I have kids one day, you know, I could probably relate to you more, but when I have kids, honestly, it's going to be a much different experience because I'm also at a place in my life where I can maybe have a nanny if I wanted to, and there's a lot of things that I can do that could still allow me to, and that's what money can provide. Money can allow you to, for example, hire cleaners and hire a personal chef and things of that nature so you can have more freedom. You know, I've got some friends in San Diego. They're both very successful, the man and woman, and they run a multi-million-dollar business, and they have a nanny that lives at their house and takes care of their kids 3 times out of the week, and the nanny also does all their chores, all the cleaning, things like that. So that's what money can provide if you got it, but if you don't, you got to work with what you got. Okay, you got to work with what you got. You know, maybe you could still create a blog. There's a lot of moms that I know that I work with. It's great because they can work from home. Because a lot of moms that I also know, they like being a housewife, but they get bored and they feel like they want, you know, should they go back to work? You know, something maybe at home could be great for them. So an online business is perfect for you. And there are so many examples of that. That's like a huge demographic of internet entrepreneurs or just stay-at-home moms in the exact same situation as you. So there's always a way. So if you have any challenges joining the Life Mastery Accelerator, you can contact our support team at support@projectlifemastery.com. Okay, support@projectlifemastery.com. There should be a live chat box as well. Live chat like in the bottom right corner of the page too. So we have people standing by to chat with you. After the stream, I'll hop on over to the chat and engage with questions there too. But I'll take 1 or 2 more questions and then we're going to wrap it up today. But again, lifemasteryaccelerator.com is what it is. When you join Life Mastery Accelerator, so lifemasteryaccelerator.com, monthly coaching program with me. We go deep into more premium advanced strategies, different areas of your life, mastering it. First one is going to be on April 4th, live stream. We record the sessions. If you can't make it, I make sure that it's in the members area. You also get 4 bonuses when you join. One is the mastery mentality, which is an over 60-minute, I think it's like a 75 or 80-minute video of me helping you understand the mastery mentality, the master versus the dabbler, how to commit to mastery. I share the life mastery management system and go a little bit deeper than what I did here today into that. The life mastery blueprint, creating your vision, going through that process, as well as the weekly evaluation ritual. And then also there's a private Facebook group for you guys to interact, meet other like-minded people, and have people on the same path. I think that's one of the most valuable things because I know a lot of people, they don't have other like-minded people in their life. They don't have other people to share the journey with and to get feedback and support from and ask questions and connect with. And I think that's just a valuable resource because we all need to create an environment that supports us. And so that's why I added the Facebook group as a bonus just for those that want to meet other people and be on the same path and use it for accountability. You know, you can post your goals in there. You can post your rituals there every single day and create your own little thread where you update that every single day or every single week and maybe even share your weekly ritual. Share that in the Facebook group and share your progress there with the other members of the group and have each other hold each other accountable. So that's another valuable resource that we've added as well. And then also there's a month-to-month plan, right now $19 a month, which is a discount. The regular price is $29 a month. That goes up in about 6 days to $29 a month. So this gives you an opportunity if you want to join to get a much cheaper price. And then we also have a yearly plan that is a lot cheaper if you prepay for the whole year. And I'll also throw in the Morning Ritual Mastery course as a bonus. That's not mentioned on the website anywhere, but it's just a mention for you guys right here that are on the stream. That's a bonus if you join the 1-year plan. Okay, you join the 1-year annual plan. I'll throw that in as a bonus. We'll give you access to that as well. Okay, 1 or 2 more questions. Let's see, I'll try to pick a good one here. Let's see. And Keith says, if I'm not a master at something, should I wait before I start teaching it? Well, to master, here's what I recommend. I said, yes, make sure you're living it to actually teach it, but that doesn't mean you can't document your journey and share things you're learning along the way. That's what I've done. I've never preached myself as an expert or a master. I'm someone that's committed to this path of mastery, and I'm sharing the things that I learned and things that have benefited me. And so that's kind of always the approach that I often take in my business is I'm learning, I'm growing. There's areas of life that I am definitely living at a high level of mastered. Finances I've mastered. Been able to become a multi-millionaire at 30 years old. There's still way higher levels of mastery, of course, but I'm still on that part of that process. Same thing with business and marketing. I've mastered that. Health and fitness, I've mastered that. I've done 2 fitness competitions now. Relationships, I've mastered that. That's the area of life I focused on probably the most when I was a lot younger. Same thing with emotions. Now, still areas that I'm still growing in, because part of mastery is understanding that the growing never stops. Masters don't really even believe they're masters. They believe that they're still focusing on the next level of growth and trying to accelerate that. But there's always people at a higher level of mastery than you. What I would say, if you're going to teach something, approach it from the position of sharing and someone that doesn't know it all, because nobody does. I don't care who, whoever claims they know it all, you should run from that person. How's that saying go? That walk with those that seek the truth, run from those that claim they've found it. I think that's a quote from Deepak Chopra. Walk with those that seek the truth, run from those that claim that they've found it. Those people that claim they found and know all the answers, run away from those people. Walk with those people that are on the same path and that seek the truth. Okay, next question. Stefan, what are your practical thoughts and strategies on tackling a nasty addiction as a key milestone to get all the other dominoes to fall over more easily? Would love to hear your opinion. Okay, addiction is a big topic. A lot of people, there's many ways to approach addictions. You got to approach it from understand the deep-rooted side of it. Okay, a lot of people, when they try to tackle addiction, they try to focus on the behavior and not underlying what's causing the behavior. Similar to what I shared here, a lot of people focus on what's above ground and they're not focusing on what's deep underneath the ground. These are your deep-rooted beliefs. These are your deep-rooted emotional trauma and issues and all the things that are really, really deep that you don't see. You can't see it, but you got to address this because underground is what determines what's above ground, okay? There's a lot that I could share on this. I might have to do it for another video, but here's something that is a little bit deep for you that I'm not sure if it'll make sense for you just yet, but I'll try to explain it. All addiction in life, and understand that we all have addictions, okay? Understand this. We all have addictions. We all have maybe 6, a dozen addictions, maybe more or less, depending on the individual, but addictions could be alcohol, it could be drugs, it could be food, it could be sugar, it could be pornography. The addiction could be technology, right? Social media addiction, computer addiction. It could be TV, it could be video games. The addiction could even be thinking. Interesting one. Thinking could be an addiction. It could be gossiping, it could be complaining, it could be criticizing. That could be an addiction. Judging other people could be an addiction. Constantly comparing yourself to others could be an addiction. Shopping can be an addiction. Spending. There's a lot of addictions, okay, that a lot of human beings have. Understand the deep-rooted cause of it. Part of it is the brain chemistry, dopamine release, that you get from certain things that filter into that addiction. But here's a thought for you that is a little bit different. Understand addiction comes from the fear of emptiness. The fear of emptiness. The fear of emptiness. The reason why we have these addictions a lot of times is because we're so uncomfortable and afraid of just being totally empty and just being totally alone. And an example of this to help you identify, there's a litmus test to see whether you have an addiction, which is if you can go a week without that behavior, okay, whatever that behavior is, go a week without it. If you have any cravings or temptations for it, then that's how you know you're addicted to it, okay? Now, the fear of emptiness is interesting because the way that you overcome that is you have to learn how to just be totally present in a room alone by yourself and feel a sense of satisfaction and pleasure from that. For a lot of people, they have a hard time just meditating or sitting alone, and because what happens is certain feelings and emotions come up. They start to get antsy, they start to get uncomfortable, they start to twitch around, their mind starts racing, they start fantasizing, they start having these cravings and temptations for things. They get angry, they get sad, they get depressed, and all these things arise within themselves because they haven't learned how to be present and just master being comfortable with themselves and being totally empty. And so these addictions, these behaviors are ways to cover that up. They're ways to stimulate ourselves. They're ways to distract ourselves what we're really feeling deep down. We cover it up. A similar way, you know, we all have a unique spiritual essence, right? Where we're just totally comfortable being fully present. What happens in life is we cover things up and we build all these barriers that distract us and become these addictions to ourselves. And really what you gotta do is you gotta learn how to unravel and unpeel all those layers of the onion and get back just to being. So I could talk on and on about this, might be a little bit deep, might be hard to articulate or understand, but meditation. Go to a meditation retreat for 10 days with nothing but you meditating 16 hours a day. When you do that, you're gonna have to confront whatever comes up for you. You're gonna have to confront your fears, the issues that you have, all these temptations and cravings. And you're gonna have to learn how to be comfortable with just being present and being comfortable with that emptiness. You can meditate every day. I think that's a very valuable practice. That's what I do every day, aiming to do 2 times a day right now, meditation. There's things like ayahuasca. Ayahuasca can allow you to confront some things that you've suppressed in your life and be free of. Okay, that's a different level of things. But it's learning to be totally comfortable with that, just being alone in a room. I mean, even try that for a day. Maybe have a day this week and just lock yourself in a room and you're trust me, you're gonna grow so much from an experience like that of being just totally comfortable, not fantasizing or thinking about things either. You just gotta be present in the moment. And I think most of society, there's so many addictions that we need to get back to that. We got to get back to having a practice in our life of getting comfortable with that. And when you do, it can change your life, even scientifically with your brain and your prefrontal cortex. That has a big component that you get from meditation in terms that you overcome from things like addiction. Yeah, that'd be my advice for you. So I'd explore that a little bit more, meditation, going deeper with that, what I shared. But like I said, maybe I'll do another video on that because it's a pretty deep subject and it's hard to share right now in this video. I'd have to gather my thoughts a little bit of this. Have you tried ayahuasca? Yes, I've done ayahuasca. I did ayahuasca. Maybe I'll share that in the spiritual component of the Life Mastery Accelerator. But I did that, when I was like 22 years old. And I even know what it was, and I did it. So I got a pretty crazy story maybe from another time. But we're gonna end things here, guys. I wanna thank you guys for your questions. Thank you for joining me today. Hope to see you in the Life Mastery Accelerator and to have you a part of the program. If not, totally cool. I'll continue adding value here on YouTube. But if you want more premium, more high level, more advanced, more deep with me, then Life Mastery Accelerator is for all those that wanna go deep, all those that wanna commit to mastery. And if you're committed, then I look forward to it. So thank you guys so much for joining today. And I look forward to seeing you inside the program. And I look forward to talking to you guys again soon. Take care.